in part because it's happened to me, I'm definitely speaking out on behalf of Tim Pool at Timcast IRL, because YouTube has decided 3 years after the fact to delete 2 of his biggest Timcast in real life videos from its platform. The videos had a commonality. They both contained Alex Jones. He had originally had one of his videos taken down and then immediately reshot it with Alex and Michael Malice, and he had gotten special permission from Google to do so. They stated that there's nothing wrong with Alex appearing as a guest on somebody else's channel. He just can't have one of his own because he was banned from YouTube. And now 3 years later, they're taking him down. I myself have had videos taken down. 6 years later, I have a travel channel, and I film myself walking through a coca plantation. Coca, in case you don't know, is the leaves, the tree, the leaves from it, the white substance that people into their nose is derived from. Sells for a lot of money. I also filmed myself having coca tea in Peru when I was visiting there. And 6 years later, in last year, they decided to give me 2 strikes for it. I'm lucky that I didn't have a third video of coca, or else my channel would be vamoose, gone. Not that I upload a lot to it, but that still represents a lot of work that YouTube capriciously decided years and years later that they were going to give me strikes for. I've also had videos on my current channel that no doubt negatively affect me in the algorithm, considering how many views I have and why I've switched over to Rumble, and why I urge everybody to join me at Rumble. The link will be in the description. Rumble.com Recharge Freedom. Please join me at Rumble.com Recharge Freedom. For example, I've had videos taken down that I said that children weren't being negatively affected by COVID. From all it appears, I was told that I was disseminating dangerous medical information, false medical information. Well, turned out to be true, didn't it? But did YouTube apologize? I also had a strike for posting and talking about the lawyer for Jacobs Chansley, who stated on Tucker Carlson that he had never seen the video that was released to Tucker of his client being walked around by the police inside of the Capitol. Just for stating this, I was told that I was spreading dangerous conspiracy theories and given a strike. But this is YouTube, and the censorship, my friends, is unfortunately going to get worse as we lead up to the election. This is the sad state of affairs that we are in, that those that are controlling Google, no doubt from the deep state, no doubt whatever globalist empire that they are trying to create, the leaders of this are harnessing these social media apps and influencing what gets exposed, what is allowed to be stated and shared. And this is despite the fact that the US government was told in no uncertain terms by courts that they are not allowed to contact social media. So who's doing this? Is this just some head honcho at Google that decided to walk into the YouTube's offices and say, shut down Tim Pool or delete these channels because we cannot have this dangerous information being spread? Meanwhile, they continually harp on the fact that the Hunter Biden laptop may or may not have been real even now, or Russia collusion. They're still trying to cast aspersions and doubts as to whether or not this was a phony, baloney hoax perpetrated by the Democrats. This is going to get worse, as I stated. They are starting to roll in that fishing reel, and they are going to have that line very tight as to what they allow, because this is a make or break election for the United States of America, and they need to be able to influence it. And if you want to take a look at Google, you want to take a look at what just happened the other day, where you had employees of Google that were protesting the fact that Google was making software products for the Israeli government, and went into the head of Google Cloud's, Thomas Kurian, who, by the way, my friend worked for not so long ago, and he said that he's a superstar. He's an awesome dude, as opposed to the CEO of Google. But regardless, these people go in there, risk their jobs, and protest and have to have the police escort them out when they tell them, please leave, otherwise we're going to have the police do it. And they sit there. And these are really good paying jobs. And yet, here we are as conservatives or libertarians as I am, basically saying just leave me alone, leave us out of it. And how many people are speaking up right now? Why? Because you fear that you're going to be squashed by Google. Because although Twitter has opened up, thank God for Elon Musk, that might make the difference for not only this election, but humanity in the long haul. But you see how they are slowly tightening their hands around our throats, making us unable to speak. The ministry of truth is approving the narratives that are allowed. Who is allowed to speak? Does Alex Jones have the same free speech rights as those of you who Google still permits to use its services? In today's modern age, it's my opinion that these town squares must be free for virtually anybody to speak who is not breaking the law, which is the way that Elon Musk has set up Twitter. And now you have these advocates, these leftists that are going around protesting wrongfully. They're in some weird freaking cult, but they believe so strongly in it that they are willing to sacrifice their jobs, their lives, make everybody else's lives hell, because this is what gives them meaning and purpose, because we no longer speak to each other in person, because there's no sense of community. And this is the way that people attain meaning in their lives. It's a very sad state of affairs when you think that you're doing the right thing by preventing everybody in San Francisco from getting to their work or getting to the hospital or just running about their business by shutting down the Golden Gate Bridge for 4 hours, and the city leaders allow them to do this. Well, when Google backs down, when Google allows the powers that be or their own personal beliefs to narrate what is allowed to be said, who is allowed to say it, and that Alex Jones has no voice, well, this is just once again them tightening their grips around our throats and making it harder and harder to get your voice out, to get it heard. And it happens to me, and they're able to go back in and years later, once again, decide that you violated the terms of service as they look through the microscope to see what might have been violated, even though they gave it a clean bill of health at the time, because this is not a fair platform that they are running. That is neutral. It clearly has a bias. And this is yet another example as Google tries to take out Tim Pool, fires a warning shot across his bow at minimum. And I'm actually a big fan of his and his show. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Speak your voice, because if you don't speak it now, they're going to take away your ability to do so in the future, as they're doing right now in Canada and Brazil. America is the land of freedom, and where we must be able to exercise our First Amendment rights, because there are people that are clamoring to take it away. Peace.